Did you know that I've been hanging on to some yarn since 2009? That's right, this yarn has been sitting in my stash for almost 15 years. Welcome to Scanny Crafts, where today I am tackling my 2025 destash. I'll talk about how I am destashing and using up my oldest yarn, about how my crafting style in knitting and crochet has completely changed over the last few years, and share 4 simple rules that's helping me destash. Maybe some of my tips for destashing can help you. So for the why, I want a smaller stash. No judgment to anyone who wants a larger stash, it's just not what I prefer. I'll get into the reasoning of why later in the video. I'm also working on making myself a crafting room. Is this little room here. By doing my craft room, I want to surround myself with the yarn and the supplies that make me happy and make me want to craft, make me want to knit and crochet. And seeing a lot of the old yarn that I have, that doesn't align with that. That doesn't make me feel happy and light and creative. It makes me feel kind of guilty for not having used that yarn yet. So that's a strong why for me. So upgrading my space is my second reason for why I am destashing. My third reason is maybe the biggest reason, and that is preferences changes. I'm not the same person that I was when I bought the oldest yarn that I have in my stash. My color preferences have changed, what I want to knit and crochet have changed, what materials and yarns that I enjoy using has also changed. In my experience, all of that changes, not every year, but every few years, for me at least. I also enjoy a bit higher quality yarn now, but I did try to always start with the most affordable option. That's not always the one that I'll prefer working with. I didn't know that before I tried it, so it's not been a waste, it's just been a lesson. And I just don't want to keep those skeins where I know that I don't like the color, I don't like the material, and I have some other alternatives that I would rather work with. And my last why is saving some money. It's hard times all around the world right now, I think, also here in Scandinavia. Using up what I already have before I buy new is a big priority in general in my life. I also extend that to my hobbies. I want to always have some yarn on hand that I can just go and grab and start a project, but I don't need that much, and I would love to get some value out of the yarn that I bought many years ago before I consider decluttering it. So if I can use up what I have first, that's what I want to do. Okay, so the yarn that we are working on destashing in 2025, my oldest yarn, is, I'll do a quick pan, it's the left side here. So from the top, going down here, and stopping right here. So I'm going to talk quickly about what the yarn is and how I'm using it. So here we have a good amount of sock yarn. That's pretty obvious sock to me. This is the one that I had in the beginning of the video. I have no idea what it is, but I seem to remember it's a sort of sock yarn. I also have this yarn that was gifted to me. It's Lollipop. No idea what to make of that. I then have more sock yarn. These are Charisma, which is 100% wool. Not sure what to make of these. I have this yarn, 2 skeins of red wool yarn. These are 2 dog wool yarn. I think I bought it at the market a long time ago. No idea what to make of these. These are 4 skeins for a pair of socks for my husband. That is a single sock skein. These are 2 alpaca wool yarns. I'm not sure what to make. This is another alpaca, and this is cotton. And then these 2 are acrylics. No idea what to do with them either. And before I forget the age of this yarn, just to do that quickly, this was a gift a couple of years ago. All of these are pre-2020. This is quite new, but it's going to be used. This is like maybe 2-3 years old. This is around 2009, so 15 years. This was also a gift maybe 6-7 years ago. These Charisma, I have no idea. These could be 10 years. And all of these are also probably around the 10-year range. This one about 15 years, 2009. This one is also around 2009, 10, 11. This one is quite new. I got that gifted with the acrylic at the top. And these are maybe 6-7 years old. This is also maybe 10, and this one I'm not sure. Alright, so we are already in late August when I'm filming this. I have been working on this since January. I might do a couple more videos on this, at least in December, to show you how it all went when the year is up. But we have 4 months until then, so let me tell you a bit about the rules that I set for myself in January that I have been trying to follow all year. My rules for this year has been pretty simple. I am trying not to be too strict, as this is my hobby. I am trying to have fun, but I'm also keeping myself accountable and really trying to use up my old stash. So, my rules. Use up as much yarn as I can of my old yarn. I am calling my pre-2020 yarn my old yarn, and as you can see, I have a lot older yarn than 2020. So, using that up. My second rule is to remind myself to have fun during the process. Make things that make me happy and don't pressure myself to work on something just because I have the yarn. If I don't enjoy the process and don't like the colors, I just won't wear it. I'm allowed to frog, I am allowed to declutter, and I probably will declutter some of this at the end of the year. My third rule is regarding incoming yarn, because that's also something to watch if you are destashing. For buying new yarn, I have a rule of only being allowed to buy yarn if I need it to finish an ongoing project, or if I need it for a new project that I'm starting immediately. For example, I am going to be starting a sweater soon. I don't have the yarn. As you maybe saw, I have mostly 2 to 4 skeins, and that's just not enough for a sweater. So I am allowing myself to buy yarn for bigger projects, but I need to start them immediately. And that's been working really well for me so far this year, and that's a rule that I'm going to continue with. Also, the reason for that and buying it now instead of buying it for the future is, again, preferences change. I did have a sweater quantity yarn that I bought in maybe 2012, 2013. I had 10 to 12 skeins of a light blue color. That yarn I just didn't want. I made my husband a cardigan and he was very happy about it, luckily. But that's the sort of thing that I'm trying to avoid. Large quantities of things that I might change my preference for. What I want to make today is not the same that I wanted to make those 10 to 12 years ago. And keeping myself accountable to only buying the yarn that I am using here and now has been so helpful. And that's been a big part of this, being careful what I bring in. And my fourth rule is something that I already did, and that is finish my husband's cardigan. That was my oldest work in progress, and that's done. So that's my 4 rules. To summarize them, it's use up as much of my older yarn as possible. It's to have fun during the process, don't force myself. I am allowed to declutter or give away, but I am challenging myself to trying to be creative first. And then also being careful what I bring in, only buying for needing to finish a project and for starting a new bigger project. If you have any ideas, especially with 1 to 2 skeins of yarn, that's not socks, for knitting or crochet, small projects, please let me know. I'm considering making a video about it for myself and trying to be creative and maybe giving you ideas too. Also in 2025 I am keeping a record of how much yarn I am using, and how much yarn that I have been buying. I am going to make a video or a few videos about that too. I think it's fun to see if I can end the year with less yarn than I started with. We'll see. In addition to focusing on this destash, I'm also focusing on having fun and making new things, larger projects that I have been looking forward to make. So it's all a balance. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll keep you updated.